What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Authenticity. This episode is starting off a little bit differently because not only have I stepped into like a whole new Sierra, a whole new me, a whole new energy, but I've also decided to start this episode with a collective oracle reading. And I'm using my oracle fairy cards. So I went ahead before I started this episode and I drew out 3 cards, just calling on that energy and calling on the collective message of what this episode is going to be about. And it's really diving into that deep spiritual death and rebirth and the shadow periods and not being afraid to fail, because when we fail, it actually leads to success. And as a collective, what we need to hear in order to step into our own purpose and to start working through that own shadow work and those own fears and things that we're holding on to in order to create our own success and our own paths. Because when we truly step into our own light, we understand that success is all around us and we are successful. When we write our stories, we have the power to choose each step that we take. And sometimes we do take the wrong step. Sometimes we step on a little thorn, but that's a part of the process. We learn from it, we move on. And so as I drew these 3 cards, I really felt called to just kind of find that energy that we're all tapping into right now. And maybe this resonates with you, maybe it doesn't. Maybe oracle cards, tarot cards aren't your thing, but when you can truly channel into the now and you can really start to kind of find that energy with your cards like I have with my fairy cards. But that's also because I believe that like I was a fairy at one point. Like that's definitely my little oracle mystical being. One of them anyways. So I really resonate with the cards and it really allows me to pull through with the messages. So to start off, the first card is inspiration. And what I get from this card is a lot of us are kind of feeling stuck right now, and we're in that space of not knowing when things might be going back to normal. And it can be hard to find inspiration, especially when maybe a lot of us find that in our connections, our relationships, and the collaborations that we usually go forth in our everyday creative endeavors. But it's saying that as we prepare ourselves, that we will receive our own inspiration, and it can come at any time. So there is no timeline to our death and our rebirth and our growth. And I talked about this a little bit in the last episode, there is no timeline to our healing, right? There's no timeline to our healing, and there's no certain way that we go about being inspired. We all have different paths and we all have those different journeys. So it is time to go within, to get off of social media, to take a break from Instagram, from TikTok, from Twitter, to take a break from trying to figure out if you're going back to work, or what you may be doing for work, if it's going to be safe. Like, drop all of that for a moment. Go within yourself and see what inspiration you harness and what creativity you're holding on to. and that you're not like lighting the fire with like underneath that, right? So there's sometimes these moments where we feel inspired and these ideas and these creative things come to mind, and it's our own shadow work and our own fucking fear of ourselves that we are not doing the inner work, and we're literally holding ourselves back. We are a reflection of what we see in other people and what we want to see in ourselves, and really of who we are at the moment. So you are inspiration, and inspiration is inside of you, but you have to tap in to do that work. So that was the first card, and the second card that I pulled was the Lost and Found. So this card is a little bit darker, and I'm actually going to show this in the video that I am taking. And then the second card right here is the Lost and Found card. So take what you may from the cards. But, so from the Lost and Found card, what I take from that with this death and with this rebirth, right? So a lot of us are afraid of death. And a lot of us are afraid of dying, but I always talk about, right, we're not afraid of dying, we're afraid of living. And when we don't allow ourselves to step out of that shadow and to see that we are actually the light, and the light within ourselves causes the shadow, because our light has to cast that shadow in order for us to do the work, to see the full potential of our own beings. And we can get lost in this cycle, right? So it gets very, very easy to sit in our darkness, because darkness feels fucking good, dude. It feels good. It's easy. So many people can resonate with your darkness, right? Like, how many friends throw you a pity party? Like, I'm so glad that I'm at this spiritual place now where, one, not only do I not want pity from other people, but like, I don't give it, right? So when someone's having a bad day or something, or they're going through a feeling or an emotion, or they're feeling stuck and stagnant in their life. And this actually happened to me yesterday, which is why I'm so glad and grateful for my sister, because she pushed me out of that rut. She's like, dude, I'm not dealing with this like pity shit. And I even said, I was like, yo, I'm throwing a pity party right now. So, right, like, I don't even throw those pity parties anymore. And I don't want people to throw them for me. So like, when something's happening, like I said, or when someone's having an emotion or a feeling, I honor it and I recognize it, right? But I don't go, oh yeah, I'm so sorry, the world is literally falling on your shoulders. Like, yeah, your life sucks. Sucks to be you, dude. Like, no. That just validates that person's darkness, and it validates that comfortable space that they're living in. And it doesn't allow them to do the work, because you're not pushing them to be like, bro, that shit's not cool. Like, okay, I get it. We all have those dark moments. And it's hard. It's hard. Being human is hard. But we chose this experience. Every single one of us signed up for this experience, and we are literally meant to embody every single aspect of this life and of this meat suit that we put on every day, because that's what it is. We get to put on a meat suit every day. We get to put on how we're feeling. We get to put on our mood. We get to put on our emotions. We get to put on who we connect with in each suit that day based off of the energy that we've put on. And so we have the power, we have the control. And I don't throw that pity party, because we can do the inner work to die every day and wake up a new version of yourself. And so this Lost and Found card tells me that a lot of us are afraid to get lost. We're afraid to get lost in the unknown, and we're afraid to let go of some of the things that don't need to be found. Some of these things that we're losing, or that we lose insight on, or that we feel this disconnect with, is because it no longer serves us. So how can we let go And how can we remove the attachments that we have to maybe this idea? Maybe you had this creative business idea, or you thought you were going to be like the next rapper, or you thought you were going to be a model, or you were going to be the CEO of this company, and now everything has changed in your world and your view, and your means of inspiration has changed. So one, before I move on to the next card, and before I reiterate that maybe what you've lost was meant to be lost, I ask you who you're doing this stuff for. What are you creating for? Who are you creating for? And what are you choosing to bring into your energetic circle? And you are creating from such an honest, honorable, and loving space that outside shit means nothing, because the shadow work that you're doing is going to start to unveil itself, because you already know what needs to be found. And it's within yourself. The inspiration is there. And so the last card that I draw is life energy. And this card pulls on bringing lots of life-giving energy and reminds you to shine your light and reveal anything in the shadows that need to be healed. Ha ha ha. Oh, universe, how funny are you? Thank you for these cards. It's telling you to do the work. Step outside of the box. Look at yourself in the mirror. Breathe. Look at yourself. Every moment that you wake up, you are given a new opportunity and a new chance and the choice to live and be the best version of yourself. If you fall short to whatever expectations you put on that day, or you put on yourself in that moment, that when you go to sleep, or even in the next breath, in the next moment, it doesn't even have to be the next day, because we're not even promised the next day. But every single breath is a reminder that you are given a new opportunity for life. That breath moving through you is life force. You are the biggest fucking inspiration you need. You are the light that you need, and do not let anyone take that away from you. Do not let the critics and the outside opinions and the negativity allow you to fall short on the platform that you've created for yourself, because you are absolutely phenomenal. And you've chosen this path on your human experience. And when we can start to find that inspiration in ourselves, we as a collective are going to fucking move mountains. Excuse my French, but I'm feeling it right now. Like, I'm telling you, when we can just all tap in and let go of that fear, like die every day. Every day you die, and every day you're not promised the next moment. Every moment you're not promised the next moment. Live presently. Feel the breath, feel the movement, feel the life within you. So just feel this energy, feel this goodness, feel this power and this life moving through your every being, your core, your soul, and just remember that you matter. You are alive, you are here, and you have a purpose. So with that reading being said and done, we will hop deeper into the episode of authenticity.